Om Purnamata Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. So, as we said yesterday, that before getting into the study of any Upanishad, we chant, it is customary to chant the Shanti mantra. And this Upanishad, as we mentioned yesterday, belongs to Shukla Yajurveda. And so the Shanti mantra that will be chanted is also from the Shukla Yajurveda. So the Shanti mantra which we just chanted, Purnamata Purnamidam, is the Shanti mantra of Shukla Yajurveda. And that is why it is customary that before the study of this Upanishad, we chant this mantra. And now let us look into this. It is one of the very beautiful mantras. See, some of the Shanti mantras are in the form of Vastu Kathanam. Vastu Kathanam means it expounds the very Vastu. Vastu means knowledge. Vastu means Atma, or the that which is the essence. That is called Vastu. So this Shanti mantra is in the form of Vastu Kathanam. The mantra itself expounds the truth. And sometimes the Shanti mantras are in the form of prayer, are in the form of invocation to Ishvara or to the very truth. So this mantra is in the form of Vastu Kathanam. But it also becomes the very mention, the very dwelling upon the truth becomes the prayer. That also is a prayer. And this is one of the finest of the prayers. See, we are not chanting it again because we have already chanted it. The mantra says, Purnam Adaha. Adaha Purnam. Adaha means that. Now see, this Adaha is derived, it is a pronoun. See, let me tell you first that in this mantra, there is just one noun. What is that noun? Purnam. There is just one noun. Then there are two pronouns. It is a simple looking mantra where there are two pronouns. Which are they? Adaha and idam pronouns. Adaha and idam. Then there are three verbs. Which are the three verbs? Udachyate, then adaya, and then avashishyate. These are the three verbs. And there is Purnam Eva. Eva is evakara, which is used for emphasis. So this is the grammatical analysis of the mantra. But to be very frank, this mantra has everything in it. The entire truth, the absolute truth, as well as the creation that we see before us, that is Saguna, Nirguna, everything is very well found in this mantra. So if you know this mantra, just this one mantra, then you know the truth in its entirety. That is the kind of this mantra. Now, somebody said that if all the mantras and if all the Upanishads disappear from the face of the earth, then it is okay. if this one mantra remains. If this one mantra remains, and if all the other disappears, then also nothing will be lost. Why? Because this is everything that you need to know. In brevity, everything is contained in this. But if you have to understand, these mantras are to be, they are so profound and so much is contained in them in the capsule form that profundity is needed to understand something profound. Because there are others also. There was one person, one Englishman, who said when he heard this mantra from a Pandita, when a Pandita started expounding upon this mantra, before he could, go further, this that is complete, this is complete. From completeness came another complete. From the complete, when the complete is taken away, what remains is complete. When he heard this, he says, this is nothing but prattling. This is nothing but prattling of an infantile mind. This is what he said. Now we will see. Now we will check whether it is a prattling or it is profound. Now we will be finding this. We will try to look into this, and then you tell me whether it is prattling or it is profound. Okay? So now that is complete. Adaha, first pronoun adaha. It is derived from the word adas, which means that. It is sakaranta neuter gender, sakaranta napumsakaling, that is neuter, but sakaranta, and the prathama is adaha. So that purnam that is complete. Purnam adaha, that is complete. Purnam means it is whole, it is full. And what kind of fullness is this? It is totally full to the brim. There is absolutely no room for any kind of incompleteness in that. Which means, as the Tikakara says, it is totally aparichinnam, totally limitless. This Purnam means it has no boundaries. Moment it is bound by some space, bound by some time, then if you draw a boundary, India, then it has this kind of boundary. That means beyond that, India is not. Understood? So, moment boundary comes, moment you draw a line, it becomes incomplete. So, this Purnam permits of no kind of boundaries. That kind of limitless or aparichinnam it is. It is like space. Even space has boundaries. Space is not there in the deep sleep. Space is a beautiful example of something that is boundless. But even space, you don't find in deep sleep. This space, you may have the space in dream, but that is your own creation, not this space. So in short, even though space is supposed to be the closest example, but even that is limited. So this adaha, that Purnam adaha, that is complete. But when do we say that something is that? When it is remote, when it is away from me. I cannot say for this table. For this table, can I say that table before me? That flower, that bunch of grapes. No, I have to say this one. We can use this as basic thing, but we have to understand this in the mantra. Whenever we use this word that, which means it is remote, in time, in space, in every way it is remote. It is not perceptible to me now. It is unknown to me. So that means that this is the meaning of adaha. Okay? Then the mantra says further, Purnam idam. Even this is complete. That is complete. And this idam is makaranta napumsakaling. It is ending with ma, and it is neuter gender. And again it is prathama, the first case. So even this is complete. So this, what is the meaning of this? This which is perceptible, that which is right before you, something which you see. and something which you experience. Now tell me, when can I experience this flower? I can experience this flower only and only when I first experience myself. I am aware of myself, I am, and then this flower is experienced by me. So, what will be the meaning of this? This will also include what I experience. So, Jiva, here it is said that idam means Jiva Rupam, idam means this individual, this person, because that I experience myself, and then I experience of any other thing establishes that I first experience myself. Without my experience, if I am not there, then who is going to experience anything for that matter? So this will include, in short, when I say this is complete, what does it include? Myself and the rest of the things which are perceptible, which I know, which I see. Whereas that I do not see. That is paroksha, that is remote. Whereas this is right here and now. Maybe I do not experience it now, but later on it will be within the range of my experience. So mantra says that is complete, this is complete. Now a question will arise. If you are listening carefully, a question may arise in your mind that, Swaminiji, you said that is complete. Complete is that which doesn't exclude anything. That which is complete, that which is whole, doesn't permit of another. If there is another, then this one, then this another, supposing I say this is complete, then if this is there, if this object is there, standing different from this one, then this cannot be complete. Why? Because this it is not included, this one is not included. If this stands different from this one, then this cannot be complete. So complete or whole has to be what? One. And here this mantra says that that is also complete, this is also complete. So, nanu viruddham. Why viruddham? Why? Because there cannot be two things which are complete. And even if this is complete, but without this one, when this comes, this will again be incomplete. So, there cannot be two things which are complete. They have to include each other and be just one. So logically speaking, two things cannot be complete without including the other one. I'll just, by the way, I will say, Swamiji used to say that even though President of United States of America is having the highest position in this planet, but still Donald Trump also, even though he shows his power and things like that, but if mosquitoes are biting him, then he will have to get within the mosquito net. He will have to go inside, because even the smallest of mosquito or bugs can also create trouble for him. In short, even if the smallest of thing is away from you, and if you do not include it, that can stand as an adversary, that stands away from you, and in its presence, even with the thought of that, you cannot be complete. So now here two things are shown as complete, adaha and idam. So now what is the solution? What is the solution? So mantra says further, Purnat Purnam Udachyate. From that Purnam, this Purnam has come. From that Purnam, that is Adaha, which is unknown, and we can say that is Ishvara, that is Brahman. From that Purnam, this Purnam, which is individual and rest of the creation, that has come. Udachyate. Udachyate means it has emerged. Now, now it means that is the cause, that Purnam is the cause, and this Purnam is the effect. Now, the qualities of the cause always inheres in the effect. This is what we generally see. Like from clay, when you make a pot, the qualities of the clay comes in the pot. So, effect is nothing but manifestation of the cause. The attributes of the cause come in the effect. So, cause and effect are that way compatible. Whatever is there in the gold will be seen in the ornament. So, ornament is nothing but gold in another form. Similarly, if you go by this understanding, then we can say that yes, from that which is complete, so that happens to be the cause, that complete, that fullness happens to be the cause from which this completeness has come. Now again the same problem. Then why are they two? So what is the relationship between that and this? What is the relationship which that and this one enjoy? This is the question. So now we have to understand this, that on one hand the mantra says that from that this one has emerged. Now if we think that when anything is born from the cause, then our general understanding is that when anything is born, the cause undergoes a change. The cause undergoes a change, only then and then the effect can come. For example, from the milk, when you want to make curd, yogurt, then what happens? You have made the curdled it and now it is curd before you. But where is the milk? Where is the milk now? Milk has gone, it's no more available, and curd is there before you. Which means that in the process of creating this effect, the cause has sacrificed itself. It is no more available. Is this kind, then completeness will not remain, that will not remain complete, because it has transformed itself into this one. So now that, or that means Ishvara, that means Brahman, which is remote, didn't remain Brahman, didn't remain complete, and then gave birth to this completeness. This cannot be the meaning of emerging. If the effect comes from the cause, and in the process, if the cause doesn't remain or gets depleted or gets sacrificed, then what kind of cause is that? Then this when the mantra says that is complete, doesn't stand true. So it cannot be that kind of emerging. Then the question again arises, then what is the kind of relationship that is there between that and this? Because the mantra says that from the Purnam, another Purnam has come. Now, we have to understand this. See, there are passive. Shruti, don't think Shruti doesn't know what it is being. Why is it making it so confusing? Why not say in a simple way? No, because our understanding today is very complicated. So Shruti comes down to our level, solves the problem in this language. See, Shruti wants to account for the duality which we are experiencing. Shruti wants to account for it, and that is why it talks in this language. So now we have to understand that Purnam, that cannot be that kind of a cause which undergoes a change, because as we saw that in that case, cause will not remain a cause, because it will not remain itself in giving birth to the effect. Then the Shruti says that no, try to understand the relationship between the cause and the effect. See, there are passages, many passages in Upanishad itself where it is mentioned that Brahman desired. So kamayata bahusyam prajaye, let me become many. And then in another Upanishad you find, in Mundaka Upanishad it says, Yatha, listen to this very well, Yatha sudiptat pavakat vispulingaha. It says that from a very well lit fire, Yatha sudiptat, very well lit fire, vispulingaha, vispulinga means sparks have emerged. From a well lit fire, on the day of the Holi, we do this, lots of woods are kept and then fire is lit, and then when it is very well lit, then we see the sparks emerging from the fire. Now, observe this phenomena very well. When the sparks emerge from the fire, then definitely that spark is tiny. That spark feels that I am very small compared to the fire. But now let us look closely at this. What is it that is emerging from the fire? When you see the spark, there are two elements in the spark. Which are those two elements? Light and heat belongs to fire. When the spark emerges from the fire, something gets separated and the spark has come. Yes, you are right. But I said that there are two elements in that spark. One is the fire, that is light and heat. And what is the other thing? Other thing is the wood, because it was the woods that were used as a fuel, which was put there, and then the fire was lit. So when something gets separated from the fire, what really gets separated is that particle of wood or carbon, which has got separated from this big log of wood. What got separated was the particle of wood or carbon. Along with it is the fire. So the fire, even in the tiny spark also is fire. If it touches you, it burns you. If there is some hay, some grass is there, and if the spark is upon that, then it can cause fire. We saw this in Los Angeles this time. Everything was, maybe some spark ignited this. I'm just imagining. What I'm trying to say is this, that the spark may look tiny. What is the tiny over there? Which is the tiny aspect? It is that wood which has got separated from this big wood. But is the fire tiny? Is the fire tiny? No. Fire, even here, the fire that is attached with this small particle is also the same. It has the principle of heat and light. So, fire remains fire, whether attached with the big upadhi, that is that big piece of wood, or with a small particle. But fire remains fire. Similarly, if the spark complains, oh, I am so tiny, what is my life? It has come to an end. And look at this fire, and look at this other sparks which are bigger than me. They continue, and then it suffers from all these various manifold complexes, which we call samsara. That is, samsara is this. Samsara doesn't mean I have a wife and I have children and I have husband. It means having a spouse and children and home and working and going to workplace. All this is not samsara. Samsara is what? I am small. I am different from you. You have something more and I have something less. And then I all the time keep on looking at you and comparing ourselves. You have more, I have less. And the kind of pain that it creates, complexes that it creates, this is the indescribable. and very, very painful things, these notions. This is where samsara is. And that has no reason at all to be. Why? Because fire has not undergone any change. Whatever smallness or tininess that you find is in the wooden particle. So when the spark is suffering, we can very well address the spark. Hey spark, you are not tiny. What is your real nature? Your real nature is nothing but fire. So, mantra wants us to understand this. We all look upon ourselves as jivas. I am different, I am man, I am woman, I am Indian, I am American, I am this, I am that, I don't have this and I have this. Having also has problems. And those who do not have also has problems. Problems and problems. Even if you create. So there is no end to it. And all these problems have their root cause, fundamental cause in what? I am different. I am separate from that big one. I am separated. My upadhi, my attributes are little less than others. This has absolutely no substantiality. There is no reason for this to be. Why? Precisely because what has come is nothing but full. Fire is full. Even with that spark you can ignite another thing. So fire remains fire in that example. So here we have to understand that when Shruti mantra says, from that this has come, nothing is lost. And now, has it really come? Which means that has the cause really undergone a change, a depletion to become the effect? Had it become less, had the cause undergone some change, like the milk becoming the curd, if in such a fashion, from that Purnam, if this Purnam had come, that Purnam would not have remained. Just as milk doesn't remain. Or from the flour, you make a dough, and from that you make chapatis. Moment you make chapatis, and now you demand, give me the dough back. Then where to give? From where to bring? Now over. You have already eaten. So that is really becoming. That is really dough becoming chapatis or rotis. Here there is no such becoming. So there are two kind of cause and effect relationships. Two kind of causes. Which are they? One where the upadana karanam or the material cause undergoes a change. The material from which something is made, something which emerges from that, when that undergoes a change, it is called parinami upadana karanam. But in that, cause doesn't remain. Cause definitely changes. Now, once this bangle is made, gold is in this. No more available as the biscuit form. It is not available that way. So Upanishad says it cannot be that kind of cause. Then what kind of cause? It means that there is another kind of cause and effect relationship. What is that? What is that? Have you heard of that? Vivarta, which means, give me the example. What is this standard example for that? Rope becoming snake. There is a rope lying before you when you are going at night, at the dawn time, at the dusk time, you are passing through a street and all of a sudden you see something before you and you are afraid. Oh my God, there is a big cobra over there. And then you start shivering. BP increases. And then you retrieve your steps. And then the friend asks you in the morning, why didn't you come? You promised me, we had a meeting, and why didn't you come? He said, there was a cobra on the way and I had no courage to come. He said, let me show you. He comes there with a torch and shows you. What is it? It was nothing, it is nothing but, it was nothing but rope, it is nothing but rope. But still rope appeared as a snake. Without undergoing any change, rope appears as snake. But the effect is the same. Whether it is a real snake or a imagined snake, the effect is the same. So this kind of cause is called vivarta karanam, where the cause remains as it is, intact. It doesn't change in any way whatsoever. It just remains what it is, and still something gets created. Where? Over there, some poison comes in the rope. Little bit. Swaminiji, when I was so much afraid and BP increased so much, you mean to say there was no snake at all? At least something? Nothing at all. Absolutely no snake. But imagined. But imagined also has the same effect which a real one would have. So here, what is contained in the message which the mantra seems to convey is when it says that Purnat Purnam Udachyate, from the Purnam, from completeness emerges this completeness. What should it be? Really I have emerged? No. Really this creation has come? No. What is it? It is just an appearance. It is too much to swallow. This part. How can it be? How can it be? This concrete world, hit your head with the wall and you will find whether it is imagined or a real one. But hitting is also of the same category. Just as in dream, masterly example. In dream what happens? In dream there is nothing at all. And moment I go to sleep, a whole world is created. And the house where I live is a big one, it's a palatial house. And suddenly there is fire. My house. And what is that fire? Then I call the fire brigade also. And everything. Who is all this? What is all this? My bed has no space for all this. When I wake up, what is there? No fire, no house. I live in a 2-room apartment. 2 BHK. Where is the question of a palace being there? And who went to build and get all this? I cannot afford all this. And still, in the dream, so without undergoing any change, so much is created. There is subject, there is object, there is manifest, there is unmanifest, there is stationary, jada, chetana, sthavara, jangama. Everything is there in that creation, in the dream creation, without the person undergoing any change. Purnam udachyate. In dream, from me, who is Purnam, came the dream world, which is also Purnam. But what has come really? Nothing at all. Understood? But an appearance. But appearance. It was nothing but appearance. Kalpayati, kalpo, nothing but kalpana. Just as the mirage water, another example. Just in mirage water, that really appears like water. The deer and other animals, they run towards it. They are very thirsty and they run towards it. And then it recedes and recedes, and then finally they are, totally exhausted and they die over there. What became the cause? Mirage water. Mirage water became the cause of their death. Where really nothing is there. No water. Had they known that, they would not have run. Had they known that, they would not have run. They took it to be real one. Similarly, we look upon, it's all very easy to understand in that example. But in life, we also look upon this creation as real. I and mine, my property, my spouse, my children, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with this. My wealth and everything, have it. Have more of it. We bless you for that. But what is the truth? The subject is equally false as object. In the dream, in that fire, I who was struggling with the fire, trying to come out from that house which was on fire, was that I real one? Was that subject real one? That subject was equally mithya as much as the fire was. Understood? Similarly, Shruti, by saying this, that Purnat Purnam Udachyate, is explaining the experiential duality which we see and which we I experience. Because we say, no, that but I am different from you. I see you as different from me. How can you say it is just one? Okay, then it is just appearance, where there is play of one with the other one. It is very well accounted by saying that from Purnam came this Purnam, which means this appearance is created. Do you understand what I am saying? So, by saying this, mantra is taking care or explaining the duality the so-called duality which we experience. But then, what is the final thing? Then says, Purnasya Purnam Adaya. When you take away Purnam from Purnam, what does this mean? What is the meaning of this? Makes it very complicated? No. What does it mean? What it means is when the Purnam, that means Purnam, see, as I said, Purnam has not undergone any change at all. Going back to our example of the fire and spark, it is like telling the spark, take away, please become free from all the complexes. But he says, I am tiny. How can I come out of these complexes? Give up your identification with that wooden particle. What will we say to that spark who continues to say that I am limited? I am limited compared to this fire, big fire. Then what do we have to tell? What message, what upadesha do we give to that spark? You are feeling small precisely because of your identification with what? With that particle. I am this. You look upon yourself as that wooden particle. In reality, that which is fire, that which is the principle of fire, but due to the misconception, gets identified and looks upon itself as nothing but tiny spark. Why? That tininess. Where is that tininess? Where is the size? Fire has no size. Where is the size? Tell me. In that wooden or carbon particle, the size is there. But you are identifying, I am that. That I of the fire is put in the carbon. So you are attaching yourself with that and then suffering from those complexes. So what is the mantra? What is the mantra saying? From that you give up the part with which you are identifying. So the spark is told that give up the identification with the upadhi, with that carbon particle. Then what remains is Purnam. Then what remains is what? Nothing but completeness. Just like this space, another example to make it in case if this works. This space is there everywhere. This is nothing but space. Space is called Mahakasha. It is the space expanding. But somehow, Purnat Purnam Udachyate, that space, when this pot got created, what does it think? I am pot space. Who says that I am pot space? Pot space? Pot says? Who says? Space. If the pot says pot is pot. Pot is definitely. But space, in spite of being boundless, where is it stuck? Where is it stuck? This I am pot space. There is no connection between the space and the pot. How are they tied? Can you tie the space with the pot? No. But still, if your perception is this, that I am this, because here also there is cavity, and so in fact the pot is in the space and not that space is in the pot. Pot is in the space, but still space thinks I am Ghatakasha. Moment it identifies with the Ghata or the pot becomes, even though in reality it is Mahakasha, poor thing became Ghatakasha. This is exactly what has happened. Brahman became Jiva without really becoming. Brahman, Ishvara, where is Brahman, where is Ishvara, and where is this tiny body, this individual? There is no individual other than in identification. There is no person called Jiva other than identifying with. This is definitely small, no doubt about it. Body is small, mind has limitations, intellect has limitations, but when Atma, when Brahman identifies, I am this, finished, gone case. Tragedy has begun. What started as Leela, sport, what began as sport became tragedy. And it doesn't end unless and until this is taught to us, brought to our understanding that there is nothing called pot space. There is Mahakasha, there is space, and there is pot. But is there pot space? Similarly. So what are we told when this Mahakasha thinks I am pot space? What do we tell to this Mahakasha? Oh dear, you are not pot space, or you take away the pot quietly. This is possible here. So we can take away. Body we cannot take away. If we take away the body, then Ram Ram. But here, just to illustrate, I am saying there is no need to take away. In spite of the body being there, you have to say, I am Brahman. When can you say that? Purnasya Purnam Adaya. Take away the Upadhi Amsha, which you have appended to yourself. The Upadhi aspect, the body Upadhi means this complex, which is made of body, mind, vital air, sense organs, intellect, everything. But you take it to be part of you. That has become your identity. Remove that. Adaya means remove that. From that, remove this thing which you had added to yourself. Remove it. Then what remains? When this is taken away, what remains is space. Actually, even when this is pot, space should know that I am not the pot. Pot is in me, I am not in the pot. Pot is because of me, not the other way around. Matstani sarva bhutani, nachaham teshu avastitah. Lord Krishna says in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what a verse, where he says, Matstha, everybody is in me, I am not in them. which means consciousness or Chaitanya or Brahman says everybody is due to me. Like space can say all the pots are because of me. Like the rope can say snake is because of me. I am not because of the snake. Similarly, when this is removed, identification with the upadhi or the complex body, mind, intellect complex is removed, then what remains is Purnam eva avashishyate. What remains is nothing but Purnam. In fact, there was only Purnam. What came and what went? Nothing. From Purnam got created. But we saw that there cannot be two things which can be limitless. So, why is this explained in this way? Just to teach us that this duality which appears to be there, and the main duality which perturbs us is the duality between the seeker and the sought. I always look upon myself as a seeker. The seeker is samsara. Seeker, which means what I want to be is away from me. This is enough. This is enough to create pain, to create sorrow. It is away from me. And then I keep on struggling, keep on doing things, adjusting, compromising, going. But nothing seems to make amends. Why? Because no matter what I become, with the limited ends, what will it be? Limited only. Limited plus limited plus limited. Limited multiplied by limited will always be limited. This is an amazing mathematics. Whereas what mantra says that limitless means infinity. Infinity, something is added, infinity plus infinity is also what? Infinity. Infinity minus infinity, infinity. Infinity multiplied by infinity. Ananta, infinity means ananta. You can't even, there is no calculation there. It has no dimension. Absolutely boundless. Moment a boundary. Moment some limitations, it no more remains limitless. So, infinite, you cannot add, subtract, multiply, divide to infinity. This is what the mantra is saying, that when you take away, when you give up the identification with the upadhi, what remains is nothing but completeness. In other words, we can say that there is this nirguna, nirakara, Brahman. From that the creation has come. In which way? Really? But appearance. Whether appearance has come or whether you take it away, what remains is nirguna nirakara. Whether the dream world comes and when the dream world departs, what remains is nothing but the person. Similarly, consciousness which is full, from that, if it comes in the form of appearance, or whether that appearance remains or not, whether you add or subtract, ultimately what remains is nothing but consciousness. So, this is what the mantra is saying. Then, Trivida Shanti. Shanti, why this is needed? Why Shanti mantra? Why not we do away with it? No, it is absolutely necessary. Before the Swadhyaya, before this kind of study. Why? Because this kind of knowledge, or any study for that matter, but particularly this, requires for a very, very focused mind on the part of both the speaker as well as the listener. The subject being such, you have to be very focused, you have to have a quiet mind, but at the same time mind which is sharp. Quiet plus sharp plus subtle. On the part of both the speaker as well as the listener. The speaker also should know the subject and should have, when you start speaking, you should have things with you and they should come. You should find the right words. The words should unfold for you and you should be able to impart them. The message has to go home to the speaker. For all this, grace is required. Supposing I am stuck somewhere else, and if I think of other things while teaching this, then you will wonder, what is Swaminiji doing? Now she spoke of that, now this. It won't work. So, fitness and the right mode of mind is required for the speaker as well as for the listener. Listener also should be all focused, all sincere, all subtle, all sharp and all focused. And you have to have that grasping capacity. You should be able to grasp. That is why we pray to Dakshinamurti, Meda Dakshinamurti. May you grant Meda. Meda doesn't mean intelligence. Meda also means the grasping power. These are all, if the katha is going, you may not require more grasping because it is story. Whereas here, you have to think. You have to think. If you go to sleep, nothing will happen. You cannot understand. You have to think. Along with the speaker, the listener is also thinking and looking at them. The speaker, now let me modify it. Let me talk in this way. Let me use this word. Let me use another example. All this because a live dialogue, that is why live is better than online. But nothing is better, something is better than nothing. So it's okay. But in short, this is required and we cannot control. So as Swamiji says, what is up in the sleeve of the future, we do not know. We may have gathered here for this study and still my mind is not available. Then this doesn't work. And that is why we require grace. Grace of Ishvara. He is the controller. He is the ruler. He is omniscient. He is omnipotent. Plus, the most important part is he is compassionate. He is benevolent. When he sees the sincerity, when he sees the prayer coming out, that the person needs, is seeking help, then with his compassion, he just grants the grace. This is what is needed. We don't have all the capacity. Even if, my mind, please become quiet, but doesn't listen. Mind will not, chanchalam. It will not listen. What to do? I want to study. I want to listen, but it's not available. So I have to pray. Praying is pragmatic. Be pragmatic. No, I don't require. You require. Because we don't know what is going to happen the next moment. Nothing is in our hands. Everything is in his hands. Then call out to him who has all the power. And some powerful people may not listen, but he will listen. Because he is Karuna Sagar. He is very compassionate. Moment you cry out in sincerity, he listens. This is a very beautiful proverb in saying in English. There are slips betwixt the cup and the lip. We are trying to sip the tea and suddenly something can happen. Some bug may go inside. The cup is quite right over here, but you can't drink it. Or you are about to drink and massive stroke, cardiac arrest, falls. Understood? So there are hidden variables which we are not aware of. There may be so many of them. We may have come here but may not be able to utilize. So we require Shanti Mantra. Shanti Mantra is nothing but invoking the grace. The grace is, without grace, no intelligent person would want to proceed. because with all our powers we are limited. So we require grace, and that grace is for asking. You have to tap the grace, tapping the grace, do that. And that is why even rishis, sages needed this. Then what to talk of us, Tom, Dick and Harry? So the grace is required, and that is why we chant the Shanti mantra. And at the end of it, Shantihi is chanted thrice. Shantihi, Shantihi, why thrice? 3 types of Shanti? No, because from 3 different sources, my mind can get disturbed. One is pertaining to Adhyatmika, from my own self, from my own body. My body may have so many problems. This is aching and this is aching and this is, so many things can come. Even if I want to listen, my mind goes away to the back which is paining. It may not allow me. If the mind is disturbed, forget it. Mind suddenly, right, you may be here and then why the bell is not ringing? The lunch time is there. Things like that, mind being so fickle, it just goes away. But then it becomes my adversary. Lord Krishna says, Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu, Atmaiva ripuhu atmanaha. Bhagavan says, you are your friend, you are your enemy. No enemies and friends are outside. They are all here. So make them your friends. So I need his grace. Then from the disturbances can arise from first Adhyatmika, then Adibhautika. Adibhautika means things which surround me, elementals and elements and everything. I am studying this and they are making lot of noise. Guests are coming, so many things can happen. I had booked my ticket and I was about to pack and go, and suddenly I received some message. No, very important guest is coming. You have to cancel. So from Adibhautika, from your surroundings also, there can be any number of disturbances which can arise and which can become a big obstacle. Then third one, from the divine plane also, from the celestial beings also, things can happen. Anything, natural calamities can occur, which can stop you from coming, which can stop you from doing your daily things. So we chant Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. May there be peace at all the 3 levels, so that I can study. And this study is not ordinary. This is something which is going to bring me to myself, which is going to give me the happiness which I am seeking, which is going to enable me to discover the happiness which is my nature and from which I am now separated. So this is very important. And so prayer. So this is the Shanti mantra. And now, having done that, from tomorrow we shall be entering into the Upanishad proper. Thank you. Now, yes, was it a prattling or profound? So this we have to recite. Om Purnamata Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyaptatehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. I just wanted to mention, because some of you are asking about whether the talks are being recorded or not. As you see, it is being live streamed. The talks are being live streamed, and in case, as somebody was asking, if you want to go and listen to that, then you can find it in my YouTube channel, Para Speaks. The name of the channel is Para Speaks. So there are number of talks both in Gujarati, English, Hindi, everything. So you will be able to find that. Thank you. Sorry. P-A-R-A and Speaks, S-P-E-A-K-S. Para Speaks. Ajay, 1 second. YouTube. Yeah.